And gentle birds, welcome to the Outside Insider. We're back here. It's a lovely Wednesday evening. We're still some way away from Eagles versus Chiefs. We've still got to get through a whole Sunday of football. A lot can change about how we feel in that matchup between now and then. But the primetime lights, ESPN, the Super Bowl rematch, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes doing battle once again. And look, we're going to get to cover this game on Friday. We'll go into the nitty and the gritty, the statistical benefits of where the Eagles have an advantage, potentially some individual matchups. But today, I wanted to be your therapist if you'll afford me the time. I wanted to look into what would this game mean to you as an Eagles fan, as someone that maybe's followed the team your whole life. Maybe you've just been you're a slightly younger fan and you've only been a fan of football for a few years. Maybe you're 65 and you've been around a while. But whatever it is, the win might mean different things. And I've just been genuinely curious as to what that win will mean for you. What does it mean about the Eagles in comparison to the Chiefs? Is it the equivalent of it's a sibling rivalry? And I guess which is pretty, apropos given Jason and Travis's relationship on the teams. But it's like the older sibling beating you at a rivalry, or, he beats you because it's easier because he's better than you. Then the little sibling finally gets one over, and the older sibling doesn't really care. It's like, okay, well done. I don't really care anyway. I was just naturally better and didn't really put that much stock in it. So there's a lot of different angles to view this game through, and I wanted to just run through all of those with you today. Obviously, again, this Eagles-Chiefs thing, I've said it in the last show, I've said it before, that this, for me, will be the next big rivalry in the NFL. And a rivalry a lot of people will point to all the time is you can't have an NFC v AFC rivalry in the modern day because they don't play each other enough, because it's only once every few years that you'll get to lock horns with that opponent. But again, the Eagles v Chiefs games we've seen since maybe 2017, the year where Carson played them, have been really competitive. There are endless connections between the two franchises. There are just levels to this now, whether it's the Super Bowl, whether it's Sirianni being snubbed, whether it's the picture of Hurts and the confetti. There is so much tying these two franchises together who are ascending at the same time into what could be dynasty level eras, that they're going to be intertwined. They're going to be joined at the hip for a long time. And I think being able to enjoy that and the prospect of seeing these gladiators go at it once again, do it one more time. I mean, hell, for lack of a better comparison, look at something like the WWE. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm an AEW guy. But when you look at someone like Roman Reigns and the rivalries he has, he only wrestles a few times a year. But it's the best story they always have. When you look at the Bloodline stuff with Sami Zayn, it is the best story they have. The matches, pay-per-view, once every couple of months, but they don't need to be frequent because, again, there is so much in the background tying them together. I think that's very similar to what we're seeing now with the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. But I will get to your comments very quickly. We'll say hello to all of you that are in here today. I know we've got the core 12 that are in. If you are wanting to say hello, please say hello in the chat. We'd love to have you on board, dropping your opinions about the Philadelphia Eagles. If you could leave a like on the stream, that would be absolutely amazing. It's the best way to support the stream. It takes 2 seconds to do and just means my annoying voice can annoy even more of you. So I'd love if you could just take 2 seconds to do that for me. Rare Breed comes in. The win for me will show that the Eagles should have won the Super Bowl if not for the field. And I'm really glad you've started there, because I think that genuinely is one of the most popular opinions, takes, whatever you want to call it, about that Super Bowl. Is if the field was even remotely average, that the Eagles would have won that game. I don't know. I'd like to say so, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Okay, it's like saying, it's like being a fair weather golfer and shooting a career or near a career best in the pouring rain, and then go, yeah, if it was sunny, I'd have done better. It's like, well, would you? Because would those decisions have been the same? Would the balls have flown the same way? Would the shots have been the same? All it takes is it's a butterfly effect. If that field's dry, maybe the offensive linemen who are getting mauled all game can actually block. Do you see? And that wasn't meant to be sarcastic at you. I just meant it works on both ways for the Eagles as well. But if the field was perfect and it was proper turf, the offensive linemen who are also struggling to maintain blocks, which is why there was so much collapse in pockets the whole game, would have also been better. So I don't know. I genuinely think it's so rare breed that the Eagles should have won the Super Bowl. I think the reason they lost the Super Bowl was the defense. It was Jonathan Gannon's lackadaisical approach, and you could see the frustrations really beginning to show towards the end of that game. Like with guys like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the body language, the shoulders dropped. There was not temper tantrums, but certainly outbursts of just anger and energy that nothing was changing. I would put it more on that than I would the field. And you know, the field was bad for both teams. There's a famous clip of Arsenal Fan TV for anyone that's ever seen that side of YouTube. One of the guys is recapping a soccer game, and he's like, "Oh, we mustn't forget that it's been raining in defense of his team losing." It's like it's been raining for both teams. Like you can't use that as an excuse. And I kind of feel the same with the field. That look, we all criticized the New York Giants, okay, a few years ago for getting so vocal, so wound up, so enraged at the Eagles for, the Nate Sudfeld incident and the fact that they refused to make that call and they ended up pushing the Giants out of that game and it cost the Giants a playoff spot. That was something out of New York's control. What was in New York's control was all the stuff before it. And like to put the onus on something like the refs, something like the field, something out the way, I think just it does a grave injustice to the team and what they've accomplished. Because realistically, the narrative of that game, the Eagles were final game. The first half was dreamy. The second half is where it went tits up. And the only thing that changed the only thing that didn't change was the defense. And everything that did change was on Kansas City. So, I don't know. I will get to some field comments again in a bit, but I want to get to a few more of your initial takes here. Ron, who said, "What's up? Nice to see you in the chat again, man. A win erases all doubt. The Eagles are the favourite for Super Bowl champions." I definitely agree with that. You look for no further evidence than the fact that for those of you that are betting fans among us, on that note, we'll get to something in a minute that is in the description. I think it's in the description if I pinned it correctly. If not, let me know. But Jalen Hurts is now the odds-on favourite to win the MVP award, which he started the year at around, I think it was plus 650 off the top of my head. He started at plus 650 and it's gradually kind of gone down and down and down. The difference between Hurts, I mean, Josh Allen has just fallen way out of it. Not great, is it? Josh Allen has had an absolute stinker a few weeks. Lamar Jackson, what happened there on Sunday? Not good. Patrick Mahomes, last time out, lost to the Broncos. So the other candidates around him have slipped. The Eagles rose to the occasion and they were able to overhaul the Dallas Cowboys to maintain sole control over the NFC East and extend those legs just a little bit. So I think we said this last show, a win this weekend or this Monday over the Kansas City Chiefs, I think it erases all doubt. As Ron says, it completely does. I think Jalen Hurts would be the shoo-in for MVP. The Eagles then, I think, 2 wins clear at the top of the entire league above any other team with that win record. The Chiefs are 7-2 at the minute. The Eagles are 8-1. It would just be an astounding win on so many levels and a real statement. And they've got a chance to. They really do have a chance to. That Chiefs run defense isn't great. I think they rank like middle of the field. Their rushing offense isn't great. Middle of the field. Like they're not the team they were. They're not the dynasty they were a year ago, 2 years ago. They're vulnerable, in my opinion. I think they're absolutely vulnerable. And we'll touch more on that on Friday. We'll get into all the matchups and that sort of thing. But I do completely agree with Ron's comment there. Oh, knackering myself here. Isaac pops in. Nice to see you, my friend. A win for me means what any other win would mean. That's a very Nick Sirianni answer. Like, yay, we beat Andy and got revenge, but the ultimate goal is we're 9-1. We beat a good team. See, that's an Eagles fan. That is someone that has studied the art of Sirianni press conferences over the years, isn't it? And it's probably the best way to view it. Like, you cannot red circle a game like this, get too high on that, knowing what's coming up. Because as much as the Bills are in disarray, and Ken Dorsey's out of the equation, and there could be some fracturing in that locker room, there's also such thing as like a new coach bounce or a firing bounce, okay? When a team fires a coach, it goes one of two ways. They either go descending into absolute chaos, or they come out swinging because they feel that it was their responsibility the coach got fired. The players take it personally, like, well, maybe they like the coach is fine, and we've got him sacked because we're shit. Like we've been underperforming. It's not him. And they will come out of the gates flying, and they will be vengeful for that. So the Eagles cannot afford to get complacent at that game, because if they do, there is a very nasty Bills team that will probably be wanting to vent some frustrations in a couple of weeks. All it takes is one more loss, and I think that will tip them then into just, again, very much a coin flip there. So they've got to remain level-headed. There's a lot of football left to be played, a little under half the season. Sure, they've got a lot of control over the NFC East, but right now, the goal is just, it has to be winning as many games as you can. You're going through the gauntlet. This is it now, all right? This is what you've spoken about all year long. This stretch of games coming off the bye. Would have been very easy to go into that bye with a loss against the Cowboys. It would have been very, I'm not saying understandable or expected, because they're certainly the wrong terms, but I wouldn't have been as shocked if they lost that game, put it that way. To have come out of that bye, if they did lose that game against the Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Seahawks, would be an incredibly daunting task. You've just surrendered a one-game lead in the NFC East. You then come out of the bye. You could drop 2 games, you could drop 3, you could drop 1, but the assumption then would be that it's going to be a bit tricky. The fact they won that Cowboys game, they can't get complacent. Like, they've done everything they need to do. I thought they'd be a one-loss team at this point in the season. The only difference between, I think, actually, I'm not even joking, I think I had them at 8-1 into the bye, with their only loss being against the Jets. The difference was, it was Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. So I didn't expect that loss to be, Zach Wilson, but I predicted 8-1. I think from here, the main thing is they don't get complacent. Like, we've seen it with Eagles teams in the past, not so much under Sirianni, but certainly the Doug Peterson era, that there is that starting slow. It's a bit sluggish. In fact, the start of the season, all right, the Eagles came out of the preseason and they were slow, sloppy, undisciplined. It just wasn't pretty football. It wasn't fun to watch at all. And it took them about 4 weeks to get going. If that happens again after a week, it will be curtains. They won't survive that gauntlet. They need to come out firing. They need to come out as if, like, the playoffs start right now. They have to win every game, and it's treated with that mentality. So I completely agree with that. Winner Sports says, I'm running out of breath here. I don't know why. A win would just solidify my belief in the Eagles this season. Jalen Hurts hasn't beaten Mahomes. We always lose to Reed. Just a regular season game, but it also gets us closer to the 1 seed. And I mean, you've also got to think as well that if they do beat the Chiefs, the mental advantage, that this could be a big swing. Like, let's say, for instance, this is an NFL rivalry that will span 5, 10 years. Okay, let's say 7. Let's be a happy middle ground here. Okay. The Eagles haven't beaten the Chiefs since, I want to say, 2016, I think. Something like that. They have not won in a while, okay? They lose the Super Bowl. Jalen's first start against Kansas City was an incredible start. He did brilliantly. One of the best games he's ever played. The team lost. Super Bowl, one of Jalen's best games of his career. One of the best games he's ever played. The team lost. If it happens again and the Eagles end up going, that they lose the Super Bowl, they lose this game, they both make the playoffs, they end up in the Super Bowl and it's a rematch again, how much of a mental advantage would it be for Kansas City if they've beaten the Eagles with Jalen Hurts twice, 3 times a leader in a row? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a tough thing then to go into a Super Bowl against a team you haven't beaten twice with the same team, same coach, same quarterback. The Eagles need that win. And that's the only, I don't think it's a must-win game from a season standpoint, but from a longevity of the rivalry, from the idea that they're likely going to face each other several more times in the postseason, they need to level that playing field. Call it 1 apiece. This will be the rubber match in the Super Bowl this year. Eagles v Chiefs, episode 3, 1 apiece. The rubber match, when it matters, can the Eagles deliver? That momentum is different from we going into the Super Bowl, we've never beaten the Chiefs. It's a different mentality. It's easy to go in when it's balanced and you can have an emotionally clear game plan. If you go into that game knowing that you haven't beaten the team, there's almost an over-aggression to win, if that makes sense. Like, you overcompensate to be aggressive, to start fast, and that can lead to some errors. We've seen it in the past in the NFL. So that's where I'm at with it for sure. A win further enforces Eric Rees' curse that when he predicts the Eagles lose. He said they'll lose. As he said, they'll lose. Okay, I didn't see FTB last night, I'm afraid. I was fast asleep. But that is interesting. I think they'll win. I won't spoil my prediction now. I know we've got a long time, we've got a Friday show for predictions, but I think they win. If I was a betting man, which I'm certainly not, plus 2.5. I mean, realistically, a home game should be a 2-point swing, 2-3 point, depending on the environment. If it's Seattle, it's 3. If it's like the Jets, it's like 1. So realistically, like a 2 points, it's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em. If you get the Eagles plus 2, knowing how creative that offense is, knowing that there is the ability for extra points, there's the ability for going for 2 potentially with a brotherly shove, whatever it may be, it's not a bad bet. And if you do want to bet, by the way, I'm pretty sure in the description, I can't check from here. Can I? No. Yes, I can. Cool. Never mind. Right. So in the description, there is a link to ESPN Bet, which is just launched. So it's ESPN's official betting app. They bought Barstool Sportsbook, and they now own that. So it's officially ESPN Bet. But when you sign up and literally bet anything, so you bet $1, bet 50 cents, whatever it is, you get $200 in free bets. That's their standard offer. So it's great from a put 50 cents in, make yourself a ton of money doing it. But with our sign-up code, which is AMNY, it's in the description, you get an extra $50. So you get $250 for absolutely nothing. You just sign up, deposit whatever you want, make a bet of whatever it could literally be $1 on the Eagles to win. If it loses, you get $250 back to bet with. Like, put it on the Birds to win the Super Bowl. It's a free $250 shot. Again, make sure if you do it, you gamble responsibly. What I will say is the best thing to do with these sign-up offers, just take the sign-up offers, milk the free money, don't touch it again. Easiest thing in the world. Sign up, bet $1, get you $250, bet it on what you want, hopefully become a lot happier, get some free steak dinners and a nice Lamborghini, delete it, never touch it again. And then do that for every sports book, and you can get like thousands of dollars worth of free bets worth to try and win something on. It's tactical. It's a tactical game, but that's where I'd be at with it. Frank Ansel, nice to see you, Frank. I've not seen you put a comment in here before, so thank you for coming into the stream and being part of tonight's therapy session. An Eagles win would silence all the doubters. That I agree with. That's a very strong take. Realistically, I don't know where the Eagles are at with doubters now. I don't know how severe. I think it's more, weirdly enough, I think it is more Jalen Hurts than the Eagles. I think so much has been said about A.J. Brown, about Hassan Reddick, Jalen Carter, Devontae Smith, like this all-star team, that it's like, it goes back to this stupid argument. And look, this is going to be a shoot on whoever says this stuff, right? My biggest pet peeve with NFL analysis is if you've got a quarterback on a team and he's all right, he's got clear upside, but the quarterback's all right and he doesn't have a lot of help. It's, oh, but he's got no help. He's bad, but he's got no help. I wish the GM would get him a receiver, get him a running back, get him a tight end. You get him a running back, you get him a tight end, you get him a wide receiver. He starts playing very well. Oh, but it's all the help. Imagine if he wouldn't do that on the Cowboys team. You wouldn't see Jalen Hurts do that on the Jets. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. A good quarterback makes good teams better and makes bad teams average. A bad quarterback makes good teams average and average teams bad. That's where you draw the line. And Jalen Hurts makes good teams better. There is no doubt about it. Does Dak Prescott make good teams better? Yeah, but not as much as Jalen Hurts. And it's also like his 78th year in the league. The experiment, we know what he is by now. There is no remaining upside on that bone. We've had the meat a million times. We know how it tastes. I don't need another serving of it to understand that Dak Prescott is bang average, a choke artist, and does not have the upside of Carson Wentz. You cannot brush the two with the same paint. And realistically, a win for the Eagles against the Chiefs would absolutely shut a lot of people up. But I think Jalen Hurts did that himself in the Super Bowl by putting in what was a truly heroic performance that day. It's a shame he didn't win, but I think he did that job. So I hope Frank's right, and they do silence a lot of doubters, because the ones that are left are just like whiny. Like the doubters that are left now are the ones that refuse to admit they're wrong. Doubters, you know, like I think it's like me going, I think the Houston Texans suck. I think CJ Stroud's not all that. They'll be back to 4 wins next year. Then they get an 8 wins next year, and me refusing to acknowledge that. I mean, yeah. And it's just out of like principle, because you don't want to take the L, own it, and make up that you're wrong. So like, yeah, I think that the teams that are left, or the people that are left out in this team now, are just petty, It's just whiny. And it's nothing but noise. I don't think there is no substance to it sort of anywhere, because the Eagles have proven by getting to the Super Bowl, by coming out 8-1, by beating the Dolphins, by beating the Cowboys, that they are that team. They can be that perennial NFC powerhouse for years to come. And the longer time goes on, the more Hurts proves them wrong. And that kind of rhymed a bit there. I caught myself off guard. But yeah, so I agree. I just think it's unfortunate that the doubters are left are just like petty Facebook Karens who, just whine about it. Like, I don't know, get a hobby, go touch grass. Fortnite's out, go play that again. Go run that back with your buddies. AT, nice to meet you. I don't know what AT stands for. I'm going to guess Anthony Taylor. I'm sorry if I just doxed you there, by the way. It might not be. If we would finally be counted as a legit number one team. It's the same sort of thing as what we've said before. But yeah, I completely agree with that. That a win would be unquestionable. Like, you've beaten the Chiefs, you've beaten the Dolphins, you've beaten the Cowboys. Like, realistically, I don't care what happens in that Seahawks game or even the Niners. If you beat the Chiefs, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Cowboys in the same season, you're a good team. If you switch any of those teams round, if you do it with the Niners, you can do it with the Seahawks, whatever. But if you're beating like 4 or 5 perennial playoff teams in a single season, you're a good team. And realistically, they've taken care of business in every other game but one. They should be a legit number one team. I've got a lot of comments to catch up on. I'm sorry for being so behind. I'm literally going one by one, so I promise I am getting there. Greg, nice to see you, sir. A win means being 1-0 for the week. Keep the main thing the main thing. Jalen Hurts is instilling a culture of brilliance here at PSN. Look at that. Look at this. I was being called Sid the Sloth a week ago. Look at us now. Unified in the vision that keep the main thing the main thing. Love to see it. It was a bad field for both teams. The Chiefs are more used to it because the sod father is a Chiefs fan and does the Chiefs field. It was Gannon's horrible scheme. Agreed. Rare breed. That golf, I'm guessing means a golf analogy isn't that close. Our strength was our D-line. Handy. Yeah, but you can also say that, like, realistically, the Chiefs' offensive line wasn't great, and that was made it evened out. Like, I don't buy the field thing. I really don't buy the field thing. It was a factor. It was definitely a factor. It was a struggle to watch. I'm amazed there weren't any like broken ankles or anything like that. But realistically, the bigger factor was Jonathan Gannon. Dude, if they were playing on mud, okay, like mud, swampy mud with worms all over it, and Jonathan Gannon was still the coach, the score would have been the same. If they were playing on ice, if they were playing on turf, if they were playing on concrete, they could have been playing in space. Doesn't matter. If Jonathan Gannon was the coordinator, that game turns out the same. Because the guy's a complete fraudulent bozo, Michael Scott wannabe freak who is so self-obsessed, it feels like, that is in his own reality show. It's like he's in his own version of the Truman Show when look, the whole Josh Dobbs thing is nuts. The video from when he first got to Arizona is stupid. The fact that he literally told a reporter that he's staying in Philly forever after winning the NFC Championship and bounces not 3 weeks later is ridiculous. I have more contempt in my heart for that man than every ex-girlfriend I've ever had in my life combined. And it will not stop until the Eagles drop 55 on the Cardinals later this season. You know what I mean? Phil's in. He says, go Birds. Love that from Phil. Hope you've all been tuning into Trending in the AM. And hopefully you've also noticed our lovely, sexy thumbnails on our videos now. So Brian from Flipping the Birds has been hard at work generating these. My one, I've never had a logo before. I've never needed to make one. It is really weird because I've never been a logo guy. Like, even Philly Sports Network, when that was first made, was just like bold text that looked cool. And then I remember when I sold it last year, they were like, or 2 years ago, can you send over your logos? And I was like, yeah, I can do that, sure. And it was just text, so I've never done it. So Brian helped me do a logo, and it looks like a little football team logo, and it's pretty cool. Can definitely agree with Jonathan Gannon and not adjusting to the defense at the same time. Yeah, you're giving me flashbacks. Let's move on before I get angry again. Hurts should have won MVP last year and not Gold Boy Brady 2.0. Yeah, I mean, as soon as he got hurt, Carl, I think that really, unfortunately, put a wrench in the works. Like, if you miss time and the stats aren't as good, like, the NFL is very much a what have you done for me recently league, and they'll just, it feels like the people that bet on the award, say it, whatever, literally just look at Pro Football Reference, put two quarterbacks side by side, and go that one, next one, that one, and that's it. There's no rhyme or reason or context. Like the same with Coach of the Year. Like if you look at Coach of the Year, Nick Sirianni's odds are like 6-1, I think, or like plus 600, whatever the thing is. And it's all obviously like Dan Campbell right now, which is the latest hot trend. And it's like, if Sirianni didn't win it last year for getting that Eagles team to the Super Bowl, then why Dan Campbell should win it this year, I have no idea. But because it's like the more marketable thing and the Lions have come out of nowhere, I don't know. It's a really weird... There needs to be a complete do-over on how things like that are graded or how they're awarded. Like, forget it being voted on by 85-year-old writers who are like, oh, back in the 1950s, I remember the Houston Oilers putting up 29 points against San Fran. Get them out and just have it like a public vote where it can't be rigged and everyone submits stuff and it's done logically, and have 50% of it count from the public and 50% of it count from like current day analysts that are like under the age of 50. And you'll probably get a much better read on things because it just feels so tone deaf, half of it. I am getting to... Oh, God, there are so many comments. Bloody hell, I've got to catch it. Right, I'm going to speed through them because I feel bad. I'm like a quarter of the way in this novel. Good news is they're against the Chiefs. They won't be complacent going into the game. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. I'm pretty sure historically the Eagles have been good off of a bye under Sirianni. I might need to double check it, but I'm pretty... From memory, they have been. The thing is, though, if we're 3-0 v the Chiefs after Monday, we can easily take that. Yeah, I mean, there is that, but like I said before, it's just that then you've got the over-complacent, or the over-exaggerative reaction thing of like, we've never beaten them, therefore we have to change everything. Like, we've had, like, 3 goes at the Chiefs. What we're doing isn't working. Let's rip it up and start again for this one game. And that can just lead to far more. I don't know. I don't think that'll happen. I'm definitely like imagining stuff that isn't there, but realistically, it's a concern. So I think the difference of being like having this win this season over a Chiefs team that's lost to the Broncos, proven to be vulnerable at times. If they do get back to the Super Bowl, I think the Eagles absolutely have that recency bias edge. And what happened that time a year ago won't matter anymore because they're different teams, and the Eagles have got better. The Chiefs haven't got worse, but they've stagnated, I think. I think we can all agree the Eagles somehow got better this offseason. There is no way they should have been able to walk away from that draft with Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Sidney Brown. I was going to say Olamide Zacchaeus, but no, you know what I mean? Like, retaining Bradbury and Slay, there's no way that should have happened. The fact that... Whoopsie, my bad. I accidentally muted my mic there. I'm not sure how much you heard or what you didn't hear. Point is, Eagles got better, Chiefs stayed about the same, and that's that. So I'm getting lost again. I've got so many comments to read through. Bloody hell. Eagles never beaten Andy Reid, says Martian Lynch. I know. That will change on Monday night there, Martian, all right? Monday night, it will change. I'm telling you. I have faith. I do agree that with Isaac, but I'm sick of losing to Andy almost as much as I'm Dak and the Cowboys. Not really, but it is frustrating. Yeah, I mean, it's annoying, but it's one of the... It's such a weird, bittersweet feeling, isn't it? Whenever the Eagles play the Chiefs, it is such a weird, like, dynamic because you're kind of happy for Andy Reid, but it sucks because he's just... Then it's that weird, oh, we shouldn't have let him go, but then we should have let him go, but then... And you just get lost in this weird little vortex of... like melancholic deja vu. Oh, I'm on a heater. Someone write that down. That is tremendous content, that is. Yeah, that's what it just feels like. Whenever the Eagles lose to Andy Brown, whenever the Eagles lose to Andy Reid, you just get stuck in this cycle of melancholic deja vu of, we shouldn't have let him go, and I'm happy for Big Red. Oh, he's lovely, got a Super Bowl, and I'm so happy he's got what he deserves, but it sucks, and we should beat him, and he left us, and he couldn't do it with us, and we had to, and you just get stuck in that cycle, and it sucks for like 2 days. ESPN bet not happy with Liam's conscience. Look, all I'm saying is, if people are giving you free money in this economy, take the free money, okay? Do what you got to do. If you sign up and you bet one... Wow, this is annoying me now. It keeps cutting out. If you sign up and you bet $1 and you get $250 to bet for free, and you bet $250 on like, I don't know, some NBA team to beat some other random bum NBA team that makes you $100. Take the 100 out and run a mile. You've just turned one into $100. Run a mile, shut it down, see you later. Okay? Codes in the description. AMNY, sign up, bet $1, get your 250 for free, do what you want with it. Put it on blackjack for all I care, make 500 and run. Do whatever, but don't use your own money. Get the free money. Okay? That's it. It's the one benefit I think of doing PSN. Oh, what is this? Damn it! Sorry, the microphone's been a real pain in the ass. But it's the one benefit of running PSN is that we've got all of these sportsbook offers. And if you go onto phillysportsnetwork.com, I will show you quickly. I mean, for anyone that's over the age of 21, this is. Obviously, if you're not, don't do this. Oh, I need a new tab. Can I do it now? Yeah, cool. Philly Sports. No. You can tell I just don't use this outside of streaming, can't you? I use an iPad for work, so I can't even spell. Oh, come on. No, not News Network. There it is. Look at that. Bang, there we go. So you go onto this. Oh, okay. And you go here, you're on sports betting, and you choose any of these. Like, literally, look, $1,000, that's $1,500, $1,550, that's now $1,000, I think, and that's $250. So you're looking at like a lot of money you can get for free just by signing up. I mean, I need to update these, but DraftKings is now $200 because they're trying to compete with ESPN. So you sign up, place a bet, get $200 for free, and then don't bet again. Yes, please, officer. Thank you very much. I'll take that and I'll buy myself a lovely dinner. I've got to get to these comments. I'm so far behind. Jesus. Hey, Dan. Is it Dan down there? Daniel Berry Sports. Nice to see you, sir. Right, I'm going to try and rush through. I'm not going to highlight them all because I've been doing that all stream and I've got nowhere in half an hour. But you are right there. I completely agree with you in sports. I want to give a yes or a no to each comment because otherwise I'll never catch up. Don't look at understand stats either. Boom, roasted. Well done. You got that one right. The amount of people I see saying Dak should be an MVP candidate make me so mad. It's such brain dead take and so many people want to say it. Boom, roasted. Dual threats like Jalen has stats that are misleading. When you look at total yards for dual threat, boom, roasted. Dakota's a big example of an average QB with a ton of talent. Boom, roasted. I'm tiring myself out. Primal's in. Nice to see you again, Primal. Thank you again for that donation the other day, sir. The thing about that field, it really affected Hassan Reddick. It did. It did affect. That is the only thing. And I'm not saying it didn't affect the Eagles. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to be the fan that blames a ref or a field or a ball or a call or an interference or a non-call. Like, it's not. I don't have it in my heart. I don't have it in my heart to be that petty. Like, if they lose, they get blown out. Be angry at whoever. I'll happily be angry at Jonathan Gannon because there are actions that could have been taken to prevent it. The field, it's unfortunately one of those things in sports. It did affect Reddick. The Eagles might well have won on turf, but they've also still got to combat, Jonathan Gannon. But this team's good enough to win a Super Bowl, and that is absolutely the main thing. If they do that again and it is on turf, I mean, all I'll say is this, realistically, in defense of yourself and Rare Breed, who initially raised the point, is if the Eagles do go into this Monday, and Hassan Reddick comes out with 3 sacks and Jalen Carter has 2, and the Eagles bully Mahomes into submission and they pound him and to a point it's going to be uploaded on OnlyFans, all of those arguments about the turf are made valid, I think. If they butcher him and they burn him at the stake and they just get relentless pressure from start to finish, it's like, all right, well, imagine what they would have done if that field was, not a bowl of cereal. And I think then it's got some weight, and then we can understand. I mean, I'll meet you halfway. That's where I'll go with it. Greetings, Sir K1. I know how far I'm 10 minutes late on these comments. I'm really sorry. Kind of hard to get low and turn the corner like he does when he has bad footing. Yeah, that is true. But again, it's also the fact it was the Chiefs as well. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Also, had not field advantage, but our defense would have done a lot more game-changing plays than Dallas defense. Coach of the year should be D'Amico Ryans. Sirianni won't ever win it. Yeah, I hope he does. I mean, if they go undefeated now, I'd like, realistically, if they beat the Chiefs, the Bills, the Seahawks, the Niners, and they win out, you can't not give it to him. It's so loud. Oh, right. Oh, hang on. Let's see. This is why I should be looking at comments. Is it really loud? All right. Is it loud now? Right, we need audio testing. Jesus. Is it loud now? Sorry it's so loud. That's bad. Let me know if it changes or not. I don't really know what to do. Is it any better? I think there's a bit of a delay on it anyway, isn't there? All right, we'll find out in a minute. I'll have a quick drink while I'm waiting for that because I'm really thirsty. Hang on. Trying it. Also, while we're doing this, Duck's in. Nice to see Duck today. I was wondering where you were. Nice to see you. Andy, we need to move on because things going on with his personal life too. We did never move forward. Yeah, it did feel like very much the end of an era for sure. Is this microphone better? Can I test it? No, I can't. Lovely. Right. I'm gonna have a drink. Lovely. Right. Good news is I've caught up with the comments. Bad news is I might have broke the mic. I'll no worries at all, Duck. Work. Right, it's fine. Lovely. Also, really quickly, all I'm saying is I've got a lovely new jumper. Okay. Can someone tell me who's in the region, is this actually a Philadelphia high school? I don't know what Philadelphia ENT is, but I saw it. Oh, okay, there might be. Yeah, but it was like all the way at the top. Is that better? I don't know. We'll find out. But look, I don't know if this is in Philadelphia, if it's like real or like a fake one, but it was on a thrift store for like $13. I couldn't not buy it. And I never buy myself clothes, ever. Like, I'm not sure if it's just a guy thing or just like a Liam thing, but like, I never buy myself clothes, like, at all. So I found it a happy unless it's sports stuff. So like, if it's sports, it must be software. I think it's because it's unplugged. I'm really sorry. That's really annoying. Let's try that. Is that better? I might have changed something there. We'll try that. I think that might have worked. But yeah, so no Philadelphia high school by itself. We have Northeast High West Philly. Oh, what? Really? But I thought it was a real thing as well. I got so excited. I got this and a Villanova one. Now you're super quiet. All right, we're getting there. Look, teamwork makes the dream work, boys. All right, how's that? Can I keep going? That might be too loud? I don't even know. It says it does exist. Right. Okay. We've got so many dimensions going on right now. You actually finally need to turn mine up. Right. That's first warning for sending me on a run around, son. That is unacceptable. I'm joking. But yeah. So I'm not. Is it just a guy? Here we go. Right. Is this just a guy thing? We can pivot from. This is our average, daily pivot from the Eagles and discuss something totally irrelevant segment. Audio perfect. You've been running me around this whole time. God, you love it, didn't you? Love winding me up. Reeling me in, hook, line, and sinker. Is this just a guy thing or not? Before we get Professor Dutch, go Birds, that ain't a rugby play. Not unless you want it to be. Not unless you want it to be. Buy a bloody mic stand. So I do have one. I actually do have one. And I don't know why I don't use it. It's in my room. It's in my room. Oh, I thought basically. So what's happened? Okay, what's happened? This is why I'm streaming at home and not at my office. Okay, couple of things. Number one is my flat is up for sale. So the landlord of the building I'm renting is selling it, and I don't know when I'm moving out. So I'm gonna be I don't know. Basically, I've got into at least January. So I've got a couple of months to find somewhere, or at least. If it got sold tomorrow, I'm here through Christmas, which is really relieving. But because of that, I was like, okay, well, right. So that's the thing. Before that happened, I was like, I don't really go to my office anymore because I work from home quite a lot. And the office building, I'm the only person in there. It's an old townhouse, like a really old, Shakespearean fucking, literally imagine Lord of the Rings when it's dark, like the first film when they go to Bandybrook, is it? Bandybrook, whatever it is, when they go over on the little boat and they find Aragorn. It looks like one of them. And it's literally built next to a mass grave from when the Black Plague happened. And they didn't know what to do with the bodies to pile them under. Right. So it's haunted as anything. And if you believe in that, I've spoke about it before. It's not a nice building to be in. Okay. And I'm in there alone working when I didn't have to. The only reason I got the office in the first place was because I lived at my family home and I needed space to do stuff like this. So now that I live alone, I don't need it. So I was like, right, I'm going to cancel my office, and that's fine. I'll just work from home. And the very day I went to cancel it, the flat went up for sale. So I was like, great. So now I have to keep it. So I moved. By that point, I'd already started moving everything back. So the computer's here, the mic stand's here, everything else about PSN outside of the green screen is literally here. So yeah, I don't go to the office and do it anymore. I don't know where this came from. There was a pivot with it. I was thinking the same, K1. I can't lie. I was thinking exactly the same. But yeah, there was somewhere I was going with this. I can't remember why I started talking. There was a point originally. Genuinely can't remember now. But yeah, horrible building. It is. Look. I'm a big, not a big spirity guy, but I've had like so many experiences and stuff, like good and bad. Like, I don't know. There was one day when I was a kid. We're doing ghost stories now. We were a bit late for Halloween. There was one day as a kid where like my mum came in to say goodnight. I was playing Battlefield 3 on my computer, and the screen went off, like completely shut off, computer shut down. I flipped out, obviously, at my mum, thinking she's like turned it off. She's like, I'm nowhere near it. What are you talking about? Turned around and like the plug had been ripped out the wall. And she was like, oh, I was like, you must have kicked it. And she was like, it's on the other side of the room. There's no way I could have. Anyway, next morning, she wakes me up for school, and I had like a vinyl collection of like pop punk records, and every single record was out of its sleeve on the floor, sprawled out. And she was like, oh, that's what the noise was. And I was like, what? And she was like, I was loads of banging for me room at like 4 a.m. So I've had that, and that wasn't uncomfortable. I just felt like weird, like, oh, that's fucked up, but okay. But that building, I swear to God, that office building is so haunted. Like, my girlfriend has heard stuff in there when I'm with her, and I've heard it, and I'm about to be like, no, it's fine. It's nothing. There's stuff that's flown across the room. My keys went missing for an entire day, and I was stuck in the building, and they just popped up exactly where I left them. Like, there's a video I've got somewhere on my phone of me like going out of one door, and because it's like, again, like a really old building, you go out of one door, it shuts, you go downstairs, there's another door, and then there's another door on the other side of that. And whenever I open the door and shut it, and I open the second door at the bottom, I could hear the first door opening and shutting again. Like, and it's just a bad vibe. So I'm trying to not go there, and I'll happily do it here. But I guess on that note, if I do have to move home at any point, there might be a temporary hold on streams while I get it all figured back out. Or I'm back at the office going, hello, everyone, and welcome to the outside inside. Like, it could be one or two. Let's have a look. I need some help from somebody else. This is from Philly. Where is this Philadelphia high school at? Right, yeah, right. If someone could tell me, because like, look, I thought it just looked good. I got it off a thrift store website, and I was like, oh, cool. Well, I'll get back to my initial point. I've been horrific at keeping on the same point tonight, and I'm really sorry about that. Been a very disjointed show. So really quickly, while we're figuring out this Philadelphia school scenario, is it just a guy thing? Okay, so my girlfriend told me the other day that I don't have any clothes, and I was like, yes, I do. I've got loads. And she was like, all you have are wrestling shirts, golf outfits, and like athleisure, like jogging bottoms, shorts, and sports stuff like Eagles jerseys, Charlton athletic football shirts. She was like, you don't have anything to like wear out to a meal, and I'm like, I do, and I've got like 3 shirts and 1 pair of jeans. And she was like, you never buy clothes. She was like, you put so much effort into golf outfits, and I was like, yeah, because I want to look good. And she was like, do you want to do that all the time? I was like, wow. Suppose not. But is it just me? Like, I cannot remember the last time I bought clothes. Like, apart from this, which was recent. So I was like, right, I need to find a happy medium here. I want to get something like Philadelphia related so I can wear it for work. And then something that looks kind of cool, I can wear it out and about. So I've met a happy medium there. Per Google, 1097 Franklin Pui. Parkway. Right, Philadelphia. There we go. Should we have a look together? Let's have a look together. Let's learn with the group. Let's see where Liam's school is from. Welcome to Guyville. Yeah, I know. I'm glad it's not just me. Philadelphia. I can't spell because it's one hand. E&T Chart High School. That's it. No, not Pet. No, Philadelphia. What's Pet? No, not that. What's Pet? Is this it? Electrical and technology? I don't. Look, it might be. It must be. Is there not like a logo anywhere? That's it. That one. Pet charges. I don't know what pet charges is. When your dog's a little bit low on energy, you just put him on the pet charger. It's like a Tesla for green energy, but for your pet. There it is. Look at this. I couldn't say this is a sluggish website, isn't it? God. Philadelphia Electrical and Technology Charter Pet Charges. I don't know what. Look, they've got sports teams. That's nice. Cross country. I used to boys football, varsity. Let's have a look at that. Let's scout them out, shall we? This is a really slow website. I need to hit them up and be like, look, they're trying to monetize it with awful adverts that do nothing for anyone. No articles found for the boys varsity team there, so that's a load of good. But I've never heard of the pet charges. But there we are. So, do you know what? I take it back. I'm going to go with whoever said it didn't exist. Might have been rare breed, because wherever you look on any article, nothing exists. No photos, no articles, no upcoming events. No, never mind. Michael Allen has updated the coaches directory with no coaches. So a busy day at the office there for Michael Allen. Chris Clayton is the athletic director. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. There's a Twitter page. PP Athletics. PPL. Right. Philadelphia Public League. There they go. Champione. Ole, ole, ole. Lovely. Right, that's what we've learned then. So, have you just seen that the entire time? You have, haven't you? I've just realised I've done that thing again where I wasn't sharing. I never see Bing except on this stream. I haven't even seen Bing. No one even saw what I was looking at then. I've never heard of the school. Neither have I. I don't think it exists. But look, it looks kind of cool though. It looks very American. It looks like a Donald Trump thing. That's the only... Looks a bit naff. But it's cozy and it's nice. The other thing I've got is a Villanova jumper, but it's like skin tight and it's like... You know those like stuff where it fits you like you're going to work out, but you look like a teenage boy whose mum's bought his clothes and it's too small for him. Or like that. This happens with Liam. We learn new things. Exactly. I have got a lovely Eagles jacket though. Got a Kelly Green Eagles jacket, but I can't rock. I'll happily show you guys if you want to see it. I think I brought it out on the stream before. That's nice. It beats the Sam Bradford jersey. We'll go there. Any other stuff we got? I mean, sorry, there was actually some genuine comments, wasn't there, from Davidson? Sorry, Davidson. I think a couple of other people as well were like, we've come here for actual sports content. I'm like, oh, yes, sorry, my bad. Score prediction time. What are you thinking? 38-35 to the Eagles. I think the Eagles win. I think it ends up being quite an offensive shootout because the Eagles' pass defense has got more holes than Augusta Golf Course. The Chiefs have been really inefficiently rushing the ball this season, and their run defense hasn't been overly great. So the Eagles will run the ball down the field, and the Chiefs will beat them through the air. So you end up with this weird standoff. I think it's going to be 35-38. But we'll do all our big score ones tomorrow. And we'll do our usual like score competition and go from there for sure and get some extra little incentives to the game. I'd completely forgot that was a Super Bowl score. Yes, I'll double. Now I know it's a Super Bowl score. I'll double down on it. We flip the script, 38-35. We run it back, but this time it's the Eagles on top. And that sets us up for the ultimate rubber match. Like, it just is like, if it does happen, life's a simulation, okay? And we're just like building our way to WrestleMania where the Eagles and the Chiefs face off. We're looking for a rubber match. You want that episode 3 boogaloo. 31-28 from Duck. I like that. I think that's a good shout. I haven't seen anyone predict the Eagles. The Eagles lose yet. I'm not going to lie. I don't think the Chiefs score about 28 unless Kelsey has like 4 touchdowns and Pacheco goes off. Depends if T Swizz is there. I mean, if Taylor's there, I Predict you hit the wrong button and mute the stream for 5 minutes. Yeah, if T Swizz is there, we know all too well that this Chiefs team can form an offense like they're in a getaway car. You know, the Eagles will just be stuck looking at a mirror ball. It's not the love story we want. However, the style of this Eagles offense has the ability to just turn things up. They can shake off that Super Bowl loss, get things going again, and make sure they go into this year's Super Bowl, potentially against the Chiefs, with a blank space. Have that for Taylor Swift content. The Swifties will love that on TikTok tomorrow. I can tell you that for free. That was I feel like Eminem for about 3 minutes there. That's about as good as it gets for me. The other stuff is pretty much what K1 says. I probably will mute the stream for 5 minutes. I'm amazed. Did that happen yet? Has that happened yet tonight? Or if we've come close? I'll tell you what's underrated. Having just sipped that, right? I'm a big fan of like these metal bottles. Yes, it's a water bottle. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm a big fan of the water bottles. Okay, but the ones where they've got like I don't know what they're called. It's like a flask, but it keeps it all obviously like really cold. But like in the summer, they're great. But in the winter, there is something about like a really crisp like drink of water in the winter when it's cold. I don't know if I'm mental for saying this, but like when it's freezing and everyone's like, oh, you know, you like, you know, you want a hot drink in the winter, you want a soup or something. No. Ice cold water out of a bottle that keeps it cold. And every time you drink, you get a refreshing little kick. Oh, I love it. I'm a sadistic man. I love that stuff. Just regular water in a water bottle when it's freezing cold and the weather's freezing cold. I love it. Eagles win 42-35, says Ron. I think that's a good shout. I'd be happy with that. I could definitely see that happening. I want the Eagles to beat the Chiefs so bad that Taylor makes a song about Tyler Steen. I was really hoping Taylor would hop on the Philadelphia Christmas album. Like, why wouldn't she? Travis is doing it. Travis is doing the Pogue song, isn't he? The one where it's like, what was it? Fairy Tale of New York. That's the one. One of the best Christmas songs ever, that is. I can't wait to start listening to Christmas songs. I've got a definitive power ranking. It will never be topped. It is what it is. There is a clear number one Christmas song of all time. There is a clear number two Christmas song of all time. Fairy Tale of New York is up there. But the fact that Travis Kelce will be singing on it, just get Taylor in. Actually, no, because it'll just sound like really bland. And no offense to it, she'll go, you know, them crowded empires are really loud and singing boring. There's nothing she can add to that. Jordan Mailata to Jason Kelce can add a bit of husk. Like Matey Boy from the Pogues goes like, he's got quite a husky voice. So Taylor doesn't have that, and she's not as sharp as the woman that got run over by a boat or whatever the story is. What is that story? The woman, the singer in that song, she got like eaten by a boat or something. Something like that. It's really sad. I should have probably touched on it with a bit more delicacy there, really, because I didn't mean to trivialize it at all. I predicted the Eagles will lose, so they'll win. It is known. That is a true story. Look, if Eric said they'll lose, lump your house. If Eric said they'll lose, go to ESPN Bet in the description. Bet $1, get your $250 for free. Bet that on the Eagles and get your free $500. That's the way to do it, boys. That's the way to do it. You muted right before you hit the other button and set the volume to 11. I'm sorry. I tried my best. I gave it a go. I'm really excited for Bradley Roby's return. Said no one ever. No, sorry, that was insensitive. Very fair comment, Isaac. He's going to be so helpful against Kelce and will allow Bayard to play a more natural role. See, yeah, had I just read the comment in its entirety, it would have sounded like a very good point. I'm sorry I tried to make a cheap joke. That wasn't big or clever of me. In return, I'll read the comment again and actually acknowledge how intelligent it was, because that is genuinely a really good point. I'm really excited for Bradley Roby's return, says Isaac Tunius. He's going to be so helpful against Kelce. It will allow Bayard to play a more natural role. Absolutely, he will. I think trying to compartmentalize Kelce is one of the big things for the Eagles, isn't it? And it was in the Super Bowl as well. But they've been so depleted in the secondary. And I wrote today about like my Eagles mid-season grade. So the same stuff I did on Monday's stream, but as an article. And wrote then, like, they've been down to bare. Like, every starting corner has missed time. Maddox is out for the year. Slay's been out. Bradbury's been out. Roby arrived and then like got injured straight away, so that's brilliant. It's been really tough on this Eagles secondary. So just having a week of rest to get the whole group just a little bit like more revigorated, a little bit more energized will be just as helpful. But having Roby back there in the slot will just take some much needed pressure, not only off of Bayard, but off of Slay and Bradbury as well. I know everyone picking higher scores, but I see lower numbers. Chiefs offense has been suspect and the defense is strong. 24-17 Eagles. Contrarian, but I like it, and it's an Eagles win, so it's all that matters to me. You got to find a Christmas song for the intro. I should make an Eagle. Did I not make an Eagles Christmas song? I probably did. I did make a Football Manager. I've made a Football Manager Christmas song. It's on YouTube. For anyone that plays Football Manager, when I was 16, I made it like the 12 days of a Football Manager Christmas. I made a Taylor Swift cover of a Football Manager song. Still on there. Maybe I will. Now seeing Isaac's comment like Shane McGowan. Which one? You gotta find a Christmas song for the intro as soon as December starts on PSN. It's not bad, actually. I was expecting that to go way worse. Sing it right. Let's not push the boat out. We can't go too far with it. All I know is I'm wearing a special Eagles t-shirt with the picture of my sports watching pup. Oh, I'm gonna need a little picture of that. I think that's amazing. That's so wholesome. Special Eagles t-shirt with a picture of my sports watching pup next to me. That's so sweet. Quite about Roby. Chiefs haven't allowed more than 24 all year. I didn't know that. Look at that. The more you know wins. Look at that. He's letting us know. I'll make a note of that when I do the betting preview on Friday or Saturday or whenever it is we do it. But guys, we are approaching the end of the stream now, so I will bid you adieu as I prepare to watch AEW Dynamite. And it's around this time Eric will come in and say hello to the chat 12 just to pop in. I've called it. In the next 1 minute and 12 seconds, he's going to pop in. If he does, this might be the greatest moment in YouTube stream history. Eric is going to come in. I'm going to say greetings or cheerio, Liam. I'm calling it before I end this stream. But in case he doesn't, all I want for Christmas is another Eagles Super Bowl. I gave you the first verse. Mate, I'll see what I can do. I haven't been in the lab for a while, but I'll tell you what I will do, maybe, as a Christmas treat. On Christmas Day 2 years ago, I was drunk on Prosecco at Christmas dinner. I had my iPad with me, and I opened up GarageBand and started fucking around on it. And I was like, I'm going to make a Christmas song on GarageBand. And it is absolutely horrendous. Like, it is so bad, purely instrumental, but it's so bad that it's like, it's stuck in everyone's head. I'm not being egotistic. It's stuck in everyone's head that has ever heard it. Like, I remember I played it to my goddaughter. I went to see my best friend for Christmas, played it to her. She loved it. She was bouncing. He's never forgotten it. And if I just say the term, the song, to my family or my girlfriend or my friends, they know what I mean. And if you're lucky enough, I'll bless it upon you for one of our Christmas special streams. It's a work of art. It is absolutely horrible in every sense of the word, but you'll never forget it. And you'll just go like, you'll be walking around all Christmas, like your holiday, singing it and go, oh God, oh no. He was right. It's happened. It's that bad. It's actually good. And a wise man once said, if a song's catchy and it sticks in your head, don't let go of it. You're onto something. So 10 years' time, this absolute abhorrent abomination is going to be released to the world at number one. Mark my words. But Eric has not arrived, so I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. But I just want to say a massive thank you again to everyone for hanging out this evening. It's been fun talking shop with you all, from birds to ghosts to ghouls to Tyler Swift, Tyler Steen and Taylor Swift and everything in between. I'll see you on Friday for our preview of Eagles versus Chiefs, and then Monday for our pre-game show. Look at that. And we know it actually is a pre-game show because the game starts at 8 and not 7. So we'll be properly prepared this time. But enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Go and say hello to Phil from me tomorrow if you do watch the non-breakfast show trending in the AM around 8 in the morning. And that's it. If you could leave a like on the stream, again, that'd be fantastic. It does go a long way in just helping it grow. And also just subscribe to the channel if you're not already, because then you get notified when we do go live. Isaac really quickly says we should make a best Eagles team of all time. I like that. I like that. Or we should do like the 12 days of Eagles Christmas. That would work as well. We should maybe do both. Why not do both? We'll discuss more on Friday. I'll leave that with you. That's for free, that idea. You can sit on that, let it marinate, go and enjoy your evenings. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your day. My name's been Liam Jenkins. It will be Liam Jenkins for the foreseeable future. I'll see you soon. Take care. Go Birds.